MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And all technical difficulties are worked out so far this morning.
Yeah, we hope.
Look, you just made a comment that ring-a-linged in my head when you said it about a phone.
Uh-huh.
I told you for the last 3 nights I've woken up at these odd times and couldn't go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, I finally know what it is.
What?
I left my ringer on my phone, and every time I text whoever Jose is that is getting this free AT&T thing,
yeah,
that's what's been waking me up, and I didn't realize it the first 2 nights. But last night I saw my phone blinking, and that's what it was.
Yeah.
Jose got another text for a free month of AT&T, and it woke me up. So
yeah, I need to get rid of the notifications on my email because I rarely even check my email. I don't know if y'all do.
We know.
Yeah. I just don't. And I have thousands of them I need to delete, but it wakes me up because, you'll get these bogus emails on all this junk in the middle of the night.
And see, what I normally do with my phone is when there's bad weather, I'll leave my ringer on because it starts bleeping, and I know that I got to come up and come to the studio to get on it. But somehow or another, that's what it was. So mystery solved.
Yeah.
How'd you sleep last night?
I slept okay. I just didn't want to get up this morning. I didn't sleep long enough.
Did you have 3 cups yet?
No,
because I really want you.
I haven't even had 1 full cup.
Well, no wonder you're not in a good mood.
I'm in a good mood. It just takes me a little time to get motivated to get going.
Folks, don't leave home if you ain't had your coffee because it really affects your attitude toward other people.
Well, I have to heat mine back up because I drink my coffee on the go. I'm trying to get dressed. And first day back to school is always hectic. Trying to get lunch and snack and water bottles, and you got to send something for a craft, and it's just crazy.
16 ounces of ambition every morning is what it is. Use it wisely.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about what's going to be going on in the state of Mississippi today. Now, there was rumor floating around that we were going to have snow in our area, and that's not happening. You are going to get wet, and let me again urge you, because I cover so many. When it starts to rain, we start having fender benders everywhere, all over the place. Mm-hmm. And the Sheriff's Department, MPD runs and has to go work these. So be careful today. Drive a little slower after this rain begins, and we don't want anything to happen to you. Let's go to radar and show you where we are, what's going to be happening. Let's turn this off of the alerts and zoom in on this. Here's Lauderdale County. We're starting to see light showers in Kemper and across Neshoba. Our heaviest of rain right now, closest to us, is going to be in the Columbus, Mississippi State area. But if we move right on up toward the state line here in Mississippi at Horn Lake, where it joins Tennessee, all across here, this is sleet. All of this pink. We go just a little bit north of there from Jonesboro, Arkansas to Jackson, Tennessee. Look at the snow. As we look at that right there, heavy snow coming down. 2 inches of snow already measured in 1 hour.
Oh, goodness.
That's a lot.
It is.
Jackson, Tennessee. Now, as we come over here, Murfreesboro, Nashville, y'all have already got it. It's coming up on you real quick there. Already out in Smyrna, snow. We see it. Murfreesboro, light, but more is on the way. So be ready for this. And this is, we back out on this. This is going to stretch from Arkansas through Mississippi. Look at this. All the way up the eastern coastline past New York to Massachusetts. Up where Reba's saying of whoever's in New England, where they're getting snow, they're going to is what's going to happen to them. Now, let's switch gears and show you just a little bit more about the weather this morning of what to expect. I want you to be fully aware of what's happening. The state of Alabama, freezing rain expected in Hamilton, Alabama. That's as far south as it's going to go. As we look at this, we take another step here. Cleveland, Mississippi, in the Mississippi Delta could possibly get a little bit in all points north. As we go past this, let's look at the winter weather advisory starts there and goes north. As we look at snow accumulations in the state of Mississippi, right here all across where it joins the Mississippi line is going to receive 1 inch. We've already seen the 2 inches so far in 1 hour there. Expected up to 4 inches of rain there in Jackson, Tennessee. Those areas there, we're expecting ice here from 1/2 inch to 1/10 of an inch in these areas from Oxford, there at Ole Miss, northward toward the state line. So be careful in those areas. That's that wintry mix that is coming. Nashville, you will see about 6 inches of snow before it stops.
Now, what I can't even talk this morning. Sorry. What I'm concerned about is the overnight possible freezing of the rain on the roads.
We're going to be fine. All that should dry out. It should stop around 1:30, 2 o'clock today, and all that should kind of fade away.
Okay.
But we are going to have a hard freeze, and as we've told you over and over right now, if you hadn't taken care of your pets, find some straw, some blankets, something that'll keep those pets warm if they've got to stay outside. If you can handle it and your dog is outside, let them in the utility room for a night, because they like to be warm too.
Yeah.
And your mother-in-law, she needs to come in. Go ahead and let her in too. I mean, feel the love during this time.
Yeah.
Also, your pipes, you still got a few hours here to get those wrapped up and taken care of.
Right.
Let's see, overnight in Meridian, Mississippi, I got a lot of text. I was doing something else. I started getting text of what's happened on Highway 11 and 80. It turned out Meridian had a hit and run last night. It happened just up from Cracker Barrel near the railroad tracks there on Highway 11 and 80 where it goes to 2-lane. And I say hit and run. It was a lady walking down the edge of the road, and they swerved to miss something in the road and hit her.
Oh, goodness.
Minor injuries. She was taken to the hospital, but still a bad deal because they left the scene of the accident. I have not found out what type of car they're looking for, or if she even saw it. You got to remember, if you were walking down the road and it comes up behind you,
it was nighttime.
Yeah. You might not know what hit you either. Yeah. So that's going to be a mystery for a little while to figure out what that was.
Goodness, I'm glad she's hopefully going to be okay.
Now, the Meridian Police Department is wanting your help. Let me show you a picture here. They're looking for this gentleman for something that he might have done. As we look at this, here he is, wanted, as they're looking for him as an active warrant on David Smith for aggravated assault. Wanted in connection with the shooting that occurred on November the 29th on 8th Street. And that dealt with the guy that you were talking about.
Yeah, there was somebody working on a building and got hit by a stray bullet. He didn't have anything to do with anything going on. He was just an innocent bystander.
Gosh, you wouldn't expect stuff like that in Meridian, Mississippi, but we do have it. Here's another picture that we want to share for the Meridian Police Department. This is going to be, they're wanting to know if you know whose car this is, and somewhere out there somebody does. You can do it privately if you don't want to give your name, but if you happen to know who this is, someone was shot, they were driving this car.
Right.
And if you know who it is, they'd certainly love to have a name where they can go talk to them.
Yeah.
So if you can identify that, help them out.
It's hard to sometimes tell what kind of car it is.
I'm going to guess somewhere maybe a Nissan.
Yeah, it's kind of like it could be a Maxima or
maybe a Kia. Does a Kia look like that?
Well, I guess they could. They kind of, all the cars nowadays kind of are the same shape and style.
That car's in motion is why it's really hard to depict what it is. It's moving, and a camera caught it.
Right.
But it's better than nothing. But that's the best that we've got so far on that. Hopefully they'll be able to catch whoever that is.
I hope so.
Yeah. You got a busy?
Yeah, let me just say this.
Put it out
there. Are coming, they're doing that road work on 19 over there.
Yeah, by Wally World on up.
The street, I don't know the name of the street. You can probably pull it up, but that goes by Lee's Donuts.
65th Avenue.
Okay. If you're coming up to 19, just know that I don't know that there's a detour sign. I've been told there's not.
I posted that yesterday.
Okay. Well, my daughter had she went that direction, and then she and a lot of the other cars turned up behind Lee's Donuts thinking that they could go around and come out maybe behind those apartments that are up that used to be Oak Tibby Ridge apartments. Well, it's a dead-end street up there, which also does not have a sign from what I'm told. So,
that's what it looks like right there.
Yes.
So it is dead end, and there's no signs coming from the other way. You get there, and you have to turn around and go back.
Right. So if you're coming from like old John Moss Field trying to get to Highway 19 that it comes out by Lee's Donuts, just know that you're going to have to stop and turn around.
Yep. 65th Avenue blocked for whatever reason, and I don't really know why. It doesn't say. So when we get more information on that, we'll pass that along to you also. What a morning. This is Thursday. Again, it's going to be wet. Carry your umbrella, carry a jacket, because here's something that just really shakes you up. We're going to get up to about 59 to 61 by 11 o'clock, somewhere right around in there. And then we're going in a all-out nosedive toward 43 by late afternoon with 25-mile-an-hour gust.
Yes. I sent my son with his coat. I was like, no, you're going to need this afternoon.
Yeah.
Because you will. It's going to be very cold.
Charlotte Gray, how are you doing up in Philadelphia? We appreciate you watching. Rick Gardner joining us there.
Donna Hawkins, good morning to you. And Denise Burnside. Bill Reinhardt, good morning.
Sugarlock, Mississippi. Betsy Holly joins us from there. Glad to have you watching us from up there.
Beverly Skelton, good morning from Chunky, Mississippi. And Jeremiah Johnson, good morning.
When they having the next board meeting there in Duffy, in Chunky? I might have to go down and check it out, see what's going on. Let's talk about our friends at Snowden and Company. They have a lot going on at Snowden and Company. They got some new folks that have come about this. If you're looking for a home the first time and you want somebody that's going to help you, really lead you along, because you don't do this every day, they do. They can help you, and somebody you trust. 3 of the top sellers in Meridian, Mississippi, chosen by you, the Meridian Star. That's them right there. As you go down with this is their latest. Elizabeth, she'll be glad to help you there. Sweet girl. And as you talk to them, you'll find out whether you're looking for your first home or your forever home. Whichever the case is, sometimes you got to start before you start running.
That's right.
They'll help you pick that home. They've got a lot of exposure for you if you're getting ready to sell your home and buy another one. They'll do this, and they can help you from Meridian, Mississippi, all the way to Jackson. Now, these are homes that are scattered out through all across the county, and Lauderdale, Kemper, Newton, Neshoba. Look at this. They're beautiful, big homes, any size that you're looking for. As I said, even over to Brandon. Now, they'll be open to 5 o'clock this afternoon, Saturday by appointment only, and they're closed on Sunday. Even a double wide, if you're looking for this, plenty of those to choose from also. Ramps, decks, however you want to do it. See them and find out how many homes they have there that might be the one that you're looking for. Snowden Company, a certified real estate negotiating expert. That's Amanda, designated seller, and she's always got her lipstick on.
Yes.
Never caught her without it. They'll help you any way they can. They're great folks. They're hometown folks, known her all her life. And if you want somebody that's honest, that's where you go. Again, Snowden Real Estate.
I was driving on State Street. It happened so fast. I didn't even see that person behind me. The moment I knew I had to go and get checked out because of my head, that was the moment where I said, well, I need to call Richard Swartz. Once I made that one call, they began working for me. Richard Swartz is the person that the company you need to call, because they are going to go through everything to make sure you get what you deserve.
One call, that's all.
We've got a special guest that somehow or another didn't get that memo about going by Chick-fil-A and getting all those little mini things.
Mini chicks.
I am hooked on the mini chicken. Whatever.
They are really, really good. They are.
We welcome Christy Etheridge from Meridian Community College. How in the world are you this morning?
I'm great. And next, if I'm on again, I will go by Chick-fil-A.
Oh, I was just...
got the memo now.
I was just teasing.
Yeah,
I was just teasing.
Do you get, look, I have all those points.
See, I haven't done it yet.
You got to
do them.
You don't? Yeah, look, when you first pull up and they go to take your order, just, do the Chick-fil-A app. They scan that little thing. I have like 2,000 points. I could get a 40, I'm all the way
up to that tray.
The tray.
So you could bring the chicken minis.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I just want to have to go by and get chicken minis.
Invest in all of this technology, how it's changing us. Well, what does MCC have going on? What are you here to tell us about?
Well, I just wanted to let everybody know about my program. I teach the CNA program, Certified Nurse Assistant.
See, I was fixing to ask that, and you just busted my bubble.
There you go. And we have seats available still. And I've had several phone calls wanting to know about it and thinking it's too late to get in because classes start Monday.
Ooh.
So, but it's not too late. We'll take students up until next Wednesday.
So what do you learn in your class? Tell me about this. If you're thinking of a career change and thinking, hey, I would like to get in the medical field, give me some examples of what y'all do and what you'll train them to do.
Okay. It's basic nursing care. They work under the supervision of an RN or an LPN.
Right.
And it's one semester. There's no prerequisites to get in our class. You don't have to take a bunch of classes to get in. You have to have an ACT score of 15, or you could take the Accuplacer. Make a 210 on that, and it's like I said, it's one semester. If you're not sure that you want to be in healthcare, if you think, well, I might want to be a nurse, instead of wasting all that time and money and getting all those prerequisites and getting in the nursing program. You could take our program. You'll know if you like nursing or not.
It's a great place to start, is what you're pointing at.
It's a great place to start. And then if you do want to move on up to LPN or RN or even another health program, it's just a good place to start. You'll have a lot of that basic knowledge.
So how long have you been in this nursing program? How long have you been doing this?
I've been teaching 20 years.
You've forgotten more than I ever knew, don't you?
Yeah, I've been there about 20 years. So.
That is fabulous. Now, you said classes start on Monday, but again, you can still squeeze in and get in the class.
You can. So, if you're, and we have a lot of people coming back to school, whether you're a first-time high school graduate or you are, wanting a career change, or maybe your kids have grown and you want to go back to school, it's a great place to start because you can come up there, you can register, and if you don't have the ACT score or an acuplacer, you can see one of our advisors and they can get you in to take that quick.
Yeah, you'd have to help
and
me.
Then start classes Monday.
You'd have to hold my hand as I went through that because I hadn't been near a piece of paper
They'll
like that in years.
We got some great advisors up there that they'll hold your hand. They'll help you get what you need.
Nothing quite like that. And this is just an off-the-wall question. How many people do you think you've taught through the years? How many would you guess? Has it been thousands?
Let's see.
She's thinking over there.
No, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot because we used to have, we'd start with 32 people in a waiting list, and then there's been over the years, there's been a couple of times we've had little grant classes where they would teach them in the evening. I've taught, one of those before. So, yeah, I've taught a lot of students.
That was going to be a question. Is it strictly daytime classes or do they have nighttime?
It is. It's daytime. We're Monday through Friday, and it's daytime. We do some virtuals on, virtual learning now, so it's a little bit of everything.
Okay. Right, give us a telephone number and a way to get in touch with you or how you go about coming out and signing up for this. What do you do?
I think the easiest thing to do would be to call the college at the number 601-483-8241. Now, my number to get to me is 601-484-8734. You could call me directly. But if you call the college, you could just ask for an advisor. You could ask for me, Christy Etheridge, and I can help them get to where they need to go. But they could get them to an advisor. Any of the advisors can, get them going in the right direction. And we have seats available, and we'd just love to have you. It's not too late.
Well, Christy, thank you for coming in and talking with us. Again, it's MCC. If you want to make a career change or just this is your first job, come see you. You'll fill in all the blanks and teach them something.
Mm-hmm. Right. And the jobs are out there. When you finish our class, I tell all my students this, you've about got your pick of jobs because we get calls weekly needing CNAs. Not only CNAs, but, sitters, if you want to privately sit with somebody. Hospitals, clinics, they all hire CNAs, and they're all needed really bad.
Well, this is nifty, and I appreciate you coming in and staying with us for a little while this morning.
Yes.
Well, thank y'all for having me.
You be careful in this rain. You heard me talking about it. Don't you go out there and have no incident.
I don't want to end up on the Scotty Ray show.
Thank you so much,
right,
and we hope it's a wonderful class for you. Have a great day.
Thank you for having me. Y'all too.
And as we begin this morning, let's go to Jackson, Mississippi, and talk about this. Mm-hmm. Boy, I hate to sound grim out of the box, but a teen was shot and killed in Jackson, Mississippi, while sitting in a car. They are trying to figure it out. It was a 14-year-old
sitting in a car.
Jackson, Mississippi is tough. There's without a doubt. We're probably 3-4 murders already into the new year in Jackson.
I don't know how many into the new year, but I know we had a number the other day of over 100.
152 for the year over there last year.
It's a whole lot. Gosh.
But that's Jackson, Mississippi as we look at that.
I was listening to Fox the other day. I listened to talk radio, and they were named as one of the most crime-filled cities.
I can see that. You go to Jackson, you better know what you're going for. Yeah. Speaking of Jackson area, Pearl, Mississippi gets their first assistant chief who's a lady. So congratulations to her. She's going to be moving up the ladder there in Pearl, Mississippi. That's making headlines for the state.
Wish her a whole lot of luck.
Yeah, and I am one of the ones that have not gotten back because it was a weather event Sunday night.
Yeah.
But turns out the numbers are back, and 11 million people tuned in to watch Kevin Costner's season finale of Yellowstone. Wow. Yeah. I'm going to watch it hopefully one day this week.
It was a lot. It was a twist in there, so that you didn't expect, but it was good, pretty good.
Let's see here. We had some from Zero. We welcome Ray Long watching. We appreciate that. From Madison, Mississippi, we've got Miss Vicki Evans watching today. Thank you for watching us. We appreciate that. Letting us come into your home.
And Sharon Johnson, good morning to you. With Rachel Garrison, also good morning.
Did Rachel have some of them little Chick-fil-A things?
I don't know.
Girl. She's my buddy. I like her.
You got to start doing your points, though, really, seriously. I've been saving mine because I'm thinking,
a rainy day?
I don't know. I just have been saving them. I hate to use them. No, watch. I'm going to be so aggravated if, like, they're gone after you don't use them at the end of the year. And they're gone, like kind of like vacation time.
Well, it's like my Holiday Inn points. I never used them. I don't even know if I could now. Yeah. But I got a heap of them.
Yeah.
I don't get this, and I wonder how this can even happen. It looks like you would have checks and balances in the federal government. You remember that Boston bomber, that guy that blew up with the pressure cooker? He's in prison, and he got a coronavirus check of $1,400. How does that happen?
I have heard that, though. I've heard that people in prison are getting checks.
Yeah.
Why? I don't understand that. Why would they not be?
Now, he's been sued and is supposed to pay the families of those hurt $1.something million. He's in jail. He ain't got no money.
I mean, why do you need money in jail anyway? I mean, if you ain't doing something illegal. I don't know.
And they're fighting over the $1,400 going to the family members that lost. $1,400 among those people ain't going very far. Oh, but you got to buy toothpaste, anything extra in jail that you. That's why they're always begging for a little extra on their credit card of gum or anything extra they want.
Yeah.
He don't need none of that. That's just, it just really, you would think that the federal government would have somebody to check, are you incarcerated or not?
Yeah. I think they know, though, that these people are in jail. That they're sending the checks.
It's just, it upsets me to no degree. Now, our next story that we go into, shocked, is not the word for it. This story broke early this morning. Tom T. Hall, the storyteller of country music, 85 years old, Tom T. Hall committed suicide. I thought he just died of natural causes. I had no clue that Tom T. committed suicide. They've kept this very quiet. They said he died 20 minutes after shooting himself.
I wonder,
depression.
At 85 years old, I mean, it's so sad.
It really rattled me. I can't imagine. There's been others, Gary Stewart and others that have committed suicide, famous people and people that are not so famous. But if something's bothering you, call somebody. Your life is worth so much more than that. You would. I don't know Tom T's situation. If his wife had passed away and he was alone, a lot of times that comes into play with the elderly.
You never know. I mean, you never know what's driving somebody to do something like that. I know I had heard of several deaths by suicide from like being just really afraid of the virus and really. I mean, I think I can't imagine that, but there are people out there who have fears of getting sick. And or if they got sick, fears of dying, and then I don't know. It's so sad though when somebody takes their life.
Tom T. was inducted to the Country Music Hall of Fame in 2008, and of course, one of his big songs, Harper Valley PTA. That's How I Got to Memphis, Old Dogs and Watermelon Wine, and Faster Horses, and The Ballad of $40. If you've never heard that one, you should hear that. And A Week in a County Jail was pretty good, where he's put in jail for speeding, and the jailer's wife is ugly, but she brings that hot bacon and eggs every morning, and he asks her to run off with him at the end of the week. She was ugly, but he was ready to take her with him after a week.
Oh, goodness.
It was a cute song, and he had a bunch of those. Tom T. Hall, suicide. Never would have thought that. This was horrifying yesterday. Did you see this news story?
I did. I saw that. It was awful.
Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, a housing authority. A fire broke out. 13 people lost their life in this fire, 7 of which were children.
Yeah. They said that the fire smoke detectors had failed. They didn't operate correctly.
So. I've never stayed in many places that were 2-story, but they sell those things, those little ladders that you throw out the window to climb out. Have you seen those advertised?
I have not seen that. I mean, I've seen the ladders, but I didn't know where you get them.
The little rope ladders that tie to something inside the room and you throw it out to escape. If you've got a second story, have a plan. Do not have burglar bars on the second floor because you're trapped.
Yeah.
Don't know what the case was there, but you've got to have a way out. Horrifying.
It's so sad, though. It's so sad when people...
Children, on top of that, 7 of them. Hopes and dreams all gone. We do hate that.
And I think the housing authority of that area was the one responsible for the apartments. So they would be the ones responsible for maintaining, I guess, the smoke detectors.
Yeah, you're absolutely right on that.
Yeah.
And check your smoke detectors.
Right.
You know, we had the Meridian Fire Department in talking about that. Check your batteries. When your power goes out, they've got to have a way to work.
Yeah.
They normally will beep when those batteries are going down, but not always. Once a year, replace them whether they need it or not. Make sure they're on the up and up.
Yeah.
And do not, as he told us, dry your clothes and leave the house. You may come back to no house.
Right. And also your carbon monoxide detectors. Always make sure they're, your batteries are, good in those too.
Yeah, we're not trying to tell you what to do. We're just trying to save your life.
But look, I will say this. I did not know this until we had the guy talking about fires from the fire department.
What'd you learn?
On the carbon monoxide detectors, I always thought you just could put them anywhere. But he says, no, you need to put them down low.
Where the gas...
Not on the floor area, but like low to the level to where, like if you were sleeping, you don't need to put them up on the ceiling.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, because we had one time, we had it up on the ceiling. I didn't know.
LaWanda corrected me. She said batteries usually last about 6 months. So let's do this twice a year. You can do it in January and July. That's a good round number to keep you on track there. So replace them when you can. Make sure that you're safe there. This story is bizarre. Okay, say you're married and you think, well, I need to make a little extra money. And the guy down the street is single, but you're married, remember this, and you start going over, getting his newspaper for him, and, well, maybe doing a little something extra. And next thing you know, you've convinced him to leave everything that he has to you because he has no family members. And then after he leaves everything to you, you quit taking care of him. And he's just kind of left there with no help.
Goodness.
That is the case of a married Idaho sheriff's deputy who's 49. She convinced an Olympic speed skater who was dying from mad cow disease, and I didn't know a human could get this.
How do you get mad cow disease?
That is
get it by eating...
That's a good question. Here's her picture. Boy, she made a great picture there. But she convinced him right here to give all his money to her. Boris Lefkin. He was in Utah. That's sad. So she's going to have some charges brought against her. But you hear about that all the time. I've heard of people within 2 weeks of their death marrying somebody and changing the will.
Yeah.
Y'all know what I'm talking about. Gold diggers. Isn't that the name for that?
Yeah, that would be. That's awful, though, because it says that he tragically died. Like it was a suffering type death.
I'm still waiting on my sugar mama if anybody out there wants to call me. I joke about that.
Yeah.
But watch it, and that really qualifies as a scam. You can shake it in you want to, but that is scamish of what she done. And we really hate that, for that to happen to that man that way.
She's a criminal.
Yeah.
And it did say he'd eaten infected meat.
Ooh. I mean,
how do you know that? That's scary.
Especially if you're relying on somebody else to feed you.
Because it's a degenerative brain. It degenerates your brain.
And here's another story that ties in with the Tom T. Hall thing. This was from Florida. A deputy committed suicide. And we know that deputies and people in law enforcement are forced with situations that they can't shake. He committed suicide. 3 days later, his wife committed suicide because of the stress that she encountered from her husband committing suicide. And they left a few-month-old baby without any parents now.
That's awful.
He was 24. The wife was 23. They both committed suicide, and the child was 6 weeks old.
First-time parents, it said.
So we do hope that that child is adopted and is given a loving home.
Yes.
But you just don't know what goes on behind closed doors, I guess is what the story we're telling. If you can be a friend to somebody that looks like they're down, do so. Help them out there. Were you a big Eddie Van Halen fan?
I listened to him. Yeah.
I remember when the news broke that Valerie Bertinelli was marrying him. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was kind of shocked by it.
I remember that. I was kind of shocked by that too. I thought,
But they divorced at some point, but I think they still sort of kind of stayed together. They had arguments or whatever, but if you're worried about it, as they said, his dying words that he told to her if she was there, "I love you," and he left her a little gold bar as a token from him. He was a legend. I give him that. Van Halen, one of the most popular.
Now, when did he pass away?
What's that been? They divorced in 2007. He died in October 20. He was 65 years old. Cancer is what got him.
I did not even realize that he passed away.
Oh, yeah, it was a big deal. His son talked about it, and I remember it was this last year. Okay. And at first I thought it may have been coronavirus, but it was not. It was cancer that got him. That's an awful disease.
It is.
Hopefully one day there will be a cure for all of that. We hope.
I hope so.
On down the road, there's bound to be something that will cure all of that. We've got more coming up. Don't go. We would love to hear from where you're watching us. We do appreciate that.
Yes.
Let's see here. Good morning there to Brian Troy. Appreciate that. Thank you for joining us this morning. We'll be right back with more coming up with Scotty Ray and Candace.
The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville has these great savings this week. Florida strawberries, $3.99 a pound. Fresh Halos, 3-pound bag, $6.99. Chicken of the Sea tuna, a 5-ounce can, only 99 cents. A 15-ounce can of Hormel chili, $2.19. Post Fruity Pebbles, 11-ounce box, 2 for $5. And certified Angus beef top sirloin family pack, $4.99 a pound.
We're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
Now, if you're just passing by for the first time, we remind you, get a jacket before you leave the house. We're going to warm up 59, 60, and then temperatures will start diving right after 11 o'clock toward a cold 43 with gust of 25 miles an hour. Did you bring your jacket?
I do have one in my car.
I'm just checking with you because you're going to need it.
I do, yeah. I don't want to be stuck without one.
This is a Carhartt day for me. I am a very cold-natured person these days.
Mm-hmm. Do you wear scarves?
No.
Like, do you have anything to put around your neck?
No, I'm not wearing anything that those guys we showed yesterday.
No, that was Afghan stuff. No, I'm not talking about that.
No, I think there's been once my mother gave me one of those when I was a kid, and I wore it once. And I think I got picked on by the kids next door, so I never wore it again. And it has stuck with me. I've never worn a scarf.
Well, they make these things. I bought Kurt one yesterday.
Oh, boy.
It's not a scarf. It's this thing. It's like a fleece type thing that you just pull over your head, and you can like drawstring it up.
I got one of those. It's just like a hoodie.
It's kind of like a hunting thing.
A hoodie.
Yeah, but it's fleece. So, because he goes out in the evening when it's freezing cold, feeds the animals, and stuff like that.
He's got that fishing line on him. She does this to get him back in the house. Bless his heart.
I did buy him a scarf, though, that he said he was not wearing.
See?
And I was very aggravated.
So this is a scarf. Y'all don't know the scarves that she wears behind the scenes.
I do have scarves. I have you open my closet door and the whole door.
Some morning she comes in and all I can see is 2 eyeballs.
Joyce Grissom said, do I have my sock gloves? Look, Miss Joyce, I will get my sock gloves if I need them. I couldn't find the other night. I could not find my gloves. So I had to put some wool socks on my hands when we were out looking for our dog. Oh, my gosh.
Now, my actual warm socks, gloves, I don't know where they are, but I got my work gloves, and when it's really cold, I'll just put on my work gloves because I can't locate those other ones. Mm-hmm. Joel, many years ago, and I got a pair somewhere that he gave me, there were Budweiser gloves that Joel Payne gave me umpteen dozen years ago, and I still got those in my bag somewhere.
Okay.
I'll wear something until it just totally wears out.
Mm-hmm. I need to get some new gloves, so... Anyway.
There you go. Let's go down memory lane. Let's find out what happened on this day in history. Maybe a few of these things you remember. Maybe it'll bring back a memory or two. 1924 was when this guy was born. The first time I remember seeing it, I was about 9 years old, and I flipped on the television. It was black and white, and they were doing a guest appearance on the Beverly Hillbillies. Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs. Earl Scruggs had a birthday today. He was born in 1924, and he could play like nobody's business.
I love to listen to somebody play a banjo.
Oh, they could do it.
I love that.
And, of course, the theme to the Beverly Hillbillies, they're the guys behind it. Him and Earl toured for years of Lester, and then they had a parting of the way, so to speak, and they never got back together again. But it was Flatt and Scruggs for years. Most people know that name when it comes to that. He's like the grandpa of that.
Mr. Bean.
Yeah, 1955, Mr. Bean came about. He don't even really talk in those movies, does he?
He doesn't. He just kind of does all these facial expressions and silly stuff.
The laundromat scene that I saw him trying to take the detergent from the lady in there and put it in his clothes to save the 75 cents was hilarious.
Yeah.
He's cheap.
He's funny, though.
Oh, my heavens. If you've never seen Mr. Bean, look into that. Always a funny story for him to tell. 1956, this would be the very last time that Elvis would play a little bitty place, and it was in Mississippi. After that, it would all be big audiences for Elvis. He was at a school at Randolph High School. That was it. He kept the date, even though the colonel had taken over things. And there was something else that Elvis done today, and I can't remember. It was another Elvis moment. But we're coming up, what is this, the 6th of January. His birthday is going to be, it'll be Saturday, won't it?
I don't know. What is his
The 8th of January, if I'm not mistaken. That's Saturday, right? So,
yes, because today is Thursday.
If you're making your pilgrimage to Tupelo or to Graceland to go visit Elvis's, that's a pretty neat little thing right here. We had a lot of great performers. Music was really, if you step back, Mississippi has contributed to so many great legends.
Yeah, they have, really.
Mo Bandy come from here. I'm Bandy the rodeo clown. It's a cheating situation. All those great Mo Bandy songs.
There's a lot of artists from here. A lot of actors from here.
Jerry Lee. All those. It was 1958 that you bring him up. Jerry Lee Lewis had the #1 song with Great Balls of Fire. And if you hadn't seen...
He was silly. I mean, he was... You would have thought he was unstable if you didn't know him, know his ways, I guess. I didn't know him, of course, but...
Yeah, it was back in the day when it was still okay to marry your cousin in the state of Mississippi. Everything went great till he went to London and opened his mouth about that.
Goodness.
Things happen.
But he's a great...
every one of those boys, the Gillies, Mickey, and then you even get into the Preacher. All of them were so musically talented. And you know that they were all kin, don't you?
No,
First cousins, Mickey Gilly and all that.
I didn't know that.
They had it. And
but their family get-togethers were neat.
Yeah, had to be. Everybody could sing and play. 1975. There's a ton of you right now that watch that every evening you go, hush, it's coming on. Get out of my way. I got to watch it.
Yes.
But this debuted on this day in 1975, The Wheel of Fortune. And I've never watched a whole episode.
I can't believe Vanna and Pat are still at it.
So long as plastic surgery keeps going, she'll be there. Did you know that?
I guess she's still wearing her heels and all that.
She is. Did you know that she appeared in Playboy magazine one time?
I didn't.
She did.
No, I didn't.
She did. I heard tell of it. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I'm like, get out of town, man. I done that.
Just heard tell of it.
Yeah, I did. 1984. I think everybody remembers this because it touched you. Alabama released a song here in January. It would go #1 in about April of this year. Who remembers Roll On 18-Wheeler?
That was a great song.
It was.
A classic song.
Been an accident and everybody's looking. But he taught them all that song to sing. Isn't that what the line said? Roll On 18-Wheeler. We would remember this. Several movies have been made about this. And you step back and you go, how could somebody do that? You got to be evil, #1, and then be crooked to want to win unfairly.
Who was the girl who ordered the bodyguard out of it? Yeah, Tanya Harding.
But it was 1994 that Nancy Kerrigan would be attacked. It was with a stick, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he hit her with a stick in the leg and the knee or something.
Right.
Yeah. Was trying to keep her from being able to compete.
But
she wanted to be #1.
Can you believe that was 1994? Same year as the OJ thing.
Yeah, I would have been like 19.
I was married.
I wasn't
Been married for 4 years then.
I graduated in 92, so yeah. But yeah, I cannot believe it's been that long.
Time has gone by. Bill said he loves them old truck driving songs. Oh, I'm thinking Phantom 309 and Red Savine, Giddy Up Go. Those were all those big. And that was a big thing during the 70s with CBs and things. There was a lot of songs like that. That has gone by the wayside now.
Yeah, I remember all those songs. So, years ago, because years ago, like my dad and one of his friends, I want to say it was, it was one of my friends' dads, had CB type things where they could listen.
Type things.
What do you call it? I mean, it was CBs, but
CB
they
radio.
could hear what all the truckers were saying and talk to them and stuff. That was a big thing back then.
I kept one in my truck for years when I traveled, so if there was an accident, you know what's going on up the road where you could take a detour for many, many years. But cell phones really done away with a lot of CB. And if y'all remember, Sawyer Brown redone Dave Dudley's song, 6 Days on the Road, I'm Going to Make It Home Tonight. Nowadays, that's politically incorrect because he had that line in there, I'm taking little white pills and my eyes are open wide. They deem that you can't do that. So everything's been edited, country songs, and boy, Did
you have a CB handle?
Yeah, Cannonball.
Cannonball.
That was me. Still go by it.
I had a stepdad that drove a truck, and his was Mississippi Hippie.
Mississippi Hippie.
Yeah,
there you
that's
go.
what his was. He was from New Jersey.
So here's the test. I'm thinking you can't answer this, but I'm going to put it on you.
What?
Smokey and the Bandit. What was Sally Field's CB handle? Did you watch Smokey and the Bandit?
I did watch it, but I'm trying to think.
He gave her the nickname because she jumped around in the Trans Am.
Frog.
Frog.
Frog. That was her. Yeah.
Frog. Down memory lane. That was what really set it on fire. That and Convoy. But taking you back down memory lane and remembering a few things that happened on this date. I hope you remember a few of those things. Let's talk about our friends over at Maples One Stop Shop. They got 6 locations scattered around town, including Causeyville, that you can drop in and get gas. Now, they're going to be clean stores.
And if you'd like to save money, there's no reason that you shouldn't stop at one of them.
And they're redoing all the cooking there in the Causeyville store, and they hope to have that up and going sometime this month, before long. North Hills location there, a clean store, and of course they've got all that mocha and stuff that you want, the cold coffee, you can drop in and get it. And for everybody else that does, you've heard me talk about this, if you like coffee, it's the Loyalty Coffee Program, and I didn't get tongue-tied on that today. I'm shocked. Your 6 cup of coffee is absolutely free. Just get them to punch your card every time you go in. And they clean those counters regularly, including anything that you're looking for to drink or eat. A&W root beer. When's the last time you had one of those?
It's been a while. Root beer's not my favorite thing, but I do like it in a Coke flavor. Well, like it over ice cream.
Fruit punch type girl?
No, I like a float with root beer, but just to outright drink root beer is not my favorite.
There you go. And of course, pizza, you can get your lunch there for $5. Slice of pizza, chips, and a drink, all of that there, including if you're going fishing out at the country store. They've got lottery tickets at every location. You'll find so much there, from Bonita to Pine Springs out to Last Chance Broadmoor, and all these new locations they've got. See them today. Of course, it's Maples One Stop Shop there to help you out.
I was returning from a visit with my family when my car was completely destroyed by a truck that ran a red light. I was unable to work and I needed help.
I'm Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. I'm proud to represent the people of the great state I call home.
I'm Janet from Jackson, Mississippi, and it took one call, that was all. I called my Mississippi attorney, Richard Schwartz. He got me $377,250.
If you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
Rockhouse Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rockhouse will have the gun that you need, with a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rockhouse Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian.
And finally, we return to a poll that was taken that I might actually believe the numbers on this.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a little high. But they did a survey that said of the people that voted for Donald Trump in, what was that, 2020? Only 9% of all the people that cast votes believed that Biden actually won the election. That's roughly 90% believe that Biden is not their president.
Right.
9% only believe it. I'm going to have to say I'm probably in that 90%.
Well, he might
also
have the title, but I don't think he's running the show.
No, he's definitely not. But a lot of people think there was some hanky-panky that went on behind the scenes that we'll never know the answer to. So there, it's finally been said in public. A lot of people have thought that, but it's never been.
Let's hope the next election is a little more on the up and up. I mean, it'd be nice to not have any kind of questionable stuff go on.
Right.
You know, and have it where 100% it's fair, I don't know that that'll ever happen, but anyway.
This next one, and the headline of this, I guess is open for interpretation. Mm-hmm. Governor Abbott, Greg Abbott out of Texas, he has told the military, the National Guard of Texas, that Biden is not their commander-in-chief. Now, because he says it's over the unconstitutional military vaccine mandate. But that really is a open can of worms there when the governor tells the military that the president is not their...
Well, they're a stateside military, so maybe he's thinking that he might have more authority.
Maybe so. Of course, each state has their own, but that's a pretty strong statement coming from a governor.
Wasn't it Florida that was possibly going to have their own
that
military?
Doesn't answer to the federal government. But at this time, any military does answer to the president, National Guards and all that.
Well, it says he's suing the White House over unconstitutional military vaccine mandates.
He is.
Which I do think it's unconstitutional to mandate people inject something into their bodies that they don't agree with. I think that's totally unconstitutional. I don't think it should be mandated at all. But.
Boy, he took his boot in Texas and drug it across the line and spoke what nobody else did in the United States. We'll watch and see if any flack comes from this line that Governor Greg Abbott has said. Again, that's strong words. I don't care. Right. After a year, this is the day that a lot of call an insurrection at the Capitol. They're still looking for 350 people that they said violated or went into the Capitol. Mm-hmm. Again, there's a lot of people like me that believe that there was not many guards and they were basically let in. Were there bad people in the crowd? Absolutely.
Well, I heard this morning again mentioned that I remember seeing the video of a Trump supporter who had the MAGA hat on. He was standing there, and there was a group of Capitol policemen standing kind of in this little corridor area, off to the side, outside, and he was saying, why are you not doing anything? I mean, they're standing around just not doing anything. They're holding on to their guns, and they're just standing there, and they're looking at each other like, what do we do? What do we do? And it's kind of like... It kind of gives you a little bit of an insight that maybe they were told to stand down.
Well, now that you say that, I did see a story earlier this week to where they claim a guy was wearing a MAGA hat and he was paid by possibly a government agency to go in and act like he was a Donald Trump supporter and to stir things up to get people to follow him to do bad things. Now, did it happen? We can't prove that, but that's a lot of talk of that.
Right.
No one should have entered the Capitol. At the end of the day, they should not have went. Especially Mr. Bullhorn with the tattoos. We don't know where he come from. I don't think he's a Donald Trump supporter at all.
Yeah, I think he was just out for some fame, but he got it. But
I think there was a lot of common people that got caught up in the moment when people started rushing and they ran in there. They shouldn't have done it.
Did you see the video, though, of people just slowly walking in and people letting them in?
Yeah.
I mean, opening the little chain thing,
Police.
letting them come on in. I don't understand that. I mean, I know that there was a lot of hostility going on, too, at some point, but I do think that there were people stirring that up that possibly were not anything to do with Trump.
And mysteriously, the police chief of the state capitol was fired immediately, and he went away.
And I heard also the other day that they were claiming that one of the police officers was killed on the Capitol. They've said this many times. I think AOC has been quoted as saying that he was killed on the steps of the Capitol. And the family of him, they keep saying he was not killed on the, he had a stroke and died.
Yeah. Of other reasons.
Other causes. And then there was a couple that have committed suicide, and you wonder, why.
Yeah.
So I don't...
A lot of conspiracy theories tied in with that thing that happened last year. But it's always told by the victor, no matter what happens, as to what goes down.
Yeah.
Could have been handled differently? Probably so. Mm-hmm. We go to our next story, and this is one of those, it makes you feel good inside that things like this happen. How many out there have a puppy dog? A dog that is your best friend? Yeah, I do.
Most of us have.
Mine rides with me. She gets upset with me when I don't let her go with me somewhere. She's like her feelings are hurt.
She sounds like she talks.
She does.
Seriously, it's the funniest thing.
But
get a video of that.
A guy had a wreck, and he was trapped, and his car was off the road where you wouldn't see it, and then the dog was in the truck with him, jumps out, runs to somebody's house, barks until they follow him, and takes him back to where the car was wrecked, and he was saved. So it's a real-life Lassie is the headline that comes out of this. Happened in New Hampshire. Makes you feel good.
Mm-hmm. It does. And pets are a lot smarter than we give them credit for.
Oh, yeah.
Really, they are. They have a lot of emotions that you wouldn't realize that they have.
So does your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Let's see. As other things that's going on this morning, let's just check a few other headlines here that are strolling along America. I wanted to go over here. This stuff that's going on in New York City. We've got the new mayor of New York, who we all thought was going to change something because he was a former police officer. But he has, and I brought this up for a moment yesterday, that he is back in the DA. And at this point, if you rob a bank with a gun in New York City, all you're going to get is a year in jail. A year for robbing a bank. And they're downgrading serious crimes like burglary, carrying a weapon, and drug dealing to avoid putting criminals behind bars. New York City is headed in a bad direction quickly. We thought it was bad, but this is going to further cement the deal. Yeah. A lot of Americans won't go back there on vacation anymore.
Maybe they need to move to like some other options, like some of these other countries. Like you steal something, you get a finger cut off.
Well, that goes into the Sharia law. Not quite.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, get somebody's attention.
No.
This is
put them
crazy.
in jail.
Put them in jail, yeah, but if they know that they're going to get a year, I was really joking when I said that about cutting off a finger. I'm just saying that
what this does is going to make more people rob banks because, hey, I steal $20 million, I return $1 million, I get a year in jail.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Whoopie-doo.
Yeah, put the other $19 million somewhere so when I get out in a year, I can have a great life.
I am truly worried about America and what is happening with this stuff.
Yeah.
And I hope you are too. Stand fast, Mississippi. Make sure that laws are stood by and we support our law enforcement.
Right. And if you're not paying attention to what's going on, you need to be. Mm-hmm. Because there's a lot going on if you don't keep up with the news. And there's a lot of people out there that say, I don't watch that stuff. I don't like to listen to the news, but it's a lot going on.
There's a lot of people in this world that, they think they can paint cars. And guess what? They can't. Mm-hmm. The key to it is being able to match paint. And I'm going to tell you what, they do it very good at Chet's Paint and Body. If you want your car, there's nothing worse than getting your car back and your fender's one color and the rest of your other car is another color. They don't do that at Chet's Paint and Body. They're going to color match it and make it look right when you pick up your car. And if you want it done professional, that's our guys. They're located in Center Hill. All you got to do is call them 737-2961. As we said, maybe you bumped into a cow. Mm-hmm. Have you ever had a cow hit your car?
No, but my daughter hit 3 horses one time.
See, there you go. Yeah, and you can be in there just feeding your cows. The next thing you know, they're hungry and they just bump up against your truck. Take the door out. Mm-hmm. Cows, deer, animals, they do it all for you there, including humans that back into your car. Mm-hmm. Whether it's your truck, your car that's been damaged, let Chet take a look at it. They're going to do their absolute best to put it back to the way it was before, including aluminum beds on these Ford trucks. See them. They'll help you out there from front end damage to rear end to sides. It doesn't matter. Here's your paint booth that Chet does it. They stand behind their word. They tell you why it's going to be, and that's the way it is at the end. See them from classic cars to more. They'll process your insurance work, get you on your way with a rental car, do all that for you, and take the guesswork out of it. It is Chet's Paint and Body, where they stand behind what they say. See them today. They'll help you.
I was heading over to Meridian, and I was involved in a serious accident. I never made it to Meridian. I needed help.
I'm Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. I'm proud to represent the people of the great state I call home.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace as we are deep into this Thursday morning.
I know, it's flying by.
Let's go back and just take a look at see what's happened with radar in the last hour where we've got rain and everything in the state of Mississippi. We are showing some rain moving in on the outskirts of town now. And let me pull this up where you can see this. This is going to be at the 59 split as you're coming in right out by the airport. Mm-hmm. And again, right here, we always have accidents at some way, some point where they merge together.
Yes.
And we don't want you to be a victim of this today. Slow down, drive a little bit slower today. Newton County picking up showers here from north of Walmart up through Turkey Creek as we get to Decatur there. Look at this. Light showers, and we got a thunder boomer as we get down here near the Neshoba County Fairgrounds. This is Dixon. This is going to be headed up toward the Neshoba County Fairgrounds and eastern Philadelphia, starting there about the hospital. Look at that rain that's coming down all the way up to Burnside Park. A lot of rain out there. Steve Wanda says it's raining there now.
Okay.
We're showing it there on radar. And over in Macon, y'all got some showers up by the Kentucky Fried Chicken also, and up by the hospital, over by Tim's. All of those areas, they're starting at Sugarlock northward. Now, as we get up here, let's look and see what we got snow and ice and things that's going on. Starting at Tupelo, this is going to be where the winter weather advisory is. Already showing here, we've got sleet at Horn Lake. That's Hernando. Stretching across these northern counties and into Alabama also. Look at that. Huntsville, Alabama. All these areas, y'all be careful. There where the rocket is if you're on 65. Snow. I got some...
should be careful.
And I can't get it transferred over, but I did get some text messages a minute ago, and I'm going to post some of the snow that's falling in Nashville, Smyrna, Tennessee. I'll post those in just a moment so we can see what all the snow looks like.
Yes.
6 inches expected up there.
Oh, my goodness.
Y'all,
6 inches of snow. Gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, that would we'd be lost. Little short puppy dogs wouldn't be able to find them.
Have you seen the video of dogs jumping in the snow?
Yeah.
Look like they dive off in it. But.
Poor little fellas, they can't get up high enough to get out of it.
I know.
But animals do love it as well. Again, we go back over making sure that your pets are taken care of, whether it's pine straw. The co-op's got pine straw if you need to get any today. Hay that you can wrap up and keep your animals warm tonight. Let them in if you can. If you can't, make sure they got a blanket and some hay to keep them a little bit more comfortable there. Is the cat coming in tonight?
No, the cat is not coming in, but the cat has a warm, insulated area to get in. We made sure of, if he'll just go in it. But anyway, just make sure that if you use a heat lamp, that you put it up high enough to where your pet can't get to it, knock it over or something. Because I have heard of people having barn fires, lights being knocked over onto hay and stuff catching on fire.
Heard one of your dogs walk by the cat and said, I sure am glad I ain't a cat, and walked on off in the house.
Silly. Also, if you have space heaters, if you don't happen to have like a central heat or gas heat, if you have space heaters, make sure they're away from any kind of material or curtains or blankets or anything like that.
And a lot of times those things will overload the circuit in the wall and cause a fire also. And not just, it can be the curtains, but also of
they pull
electrical.
They pull a whole lot of electricity. So, just be extra careful. Just make sure all your bases are covered.
Yeah, we want you safe and joining us once again as we travel through this. It's going to be cold tomorrow, 25 tonight. Y'all be ready there.
Yes.
I want you to be.
If you're just now fixing to leave home, grab your umbrella, grab your coat, because you will need it later on.
Yes, you will. Let's see here. Have you heard about this poor lady? She was a cop. And let me show a picture of her. Here's her picture here. Her service revolver was taken from her. She begged for her life, and they shot her and killed her with her own gun. One of the most horrible things that I've read. This was in Illinois. They've caught 2 of them. They have the person that done this to her. This is why we say these crimes had been arrested 21 times since 2014, and she was shot and murdered by them.
There was an arrest warrant out for battery.
Yeah.
On them.
It doesn't get any worse than that. Trying to make a living for a family and then overpowered and her gun taken.
Yeah.
Those are a few of the headlines across America today. We urge you to be careful as the rain approaches our Meridian area, as we brought that up there. It's going to be a good day. Face it with a smile. And we hope that you've enjoyed the show. Now, there's several ways to join us, and we hope that you do that each and every day. You can join us online any way that you want to do that. But you can also join us online at sammedianetwork.com. Here it is right here. Take a quick look at that. You can visit us online there, and it does a live. It does the morning show. There's many things to choose from on there that you can. Southern American Media is what that stands for. That's right. There you are, Candace.
That's a great shot right there, Scotty Ray. You must have done that one.
Oh, you were smiling. Again, thank y'all for coming by and joining us. We'll see you tomorrow morning. You want to tell everybody goodbye?
I do. I want everybody to have a great day, count your blessings, and be a blessing to somebody else. Also, stay safe, and we'll see you first thing in the morning, 8 a.m.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by